Hey guys, welcome back to Melanated Truth, where we talk everything mental health, relationships, love, growth, and development. And I am Lavonda Handy from Truth Center for Health and Healing, licensed marriage and family therapist. And I have here with me, of course,
Nicola Pierre-Smith, LPC of Melanated Women's Health. Lavonda, I love that introduction right now. I feel like you keep getting
I'm trying.
yeah, that was a good one.
If we build, we want to let people know what we're talking about. And so I,
Yep.
I really think that having something that's direct, people know what they're getting into when they click that video.
Okay. So this week, love languages.
Love languages. I don't know if anybody has heard of this. When I usually talk to my couples, it's something I immediately ask them, like, have you taken a love languages quiz? And they're usually like, no. And I'm shocked.
I've gotten, do you believe in the love languages? So I've definitely received that comment.
Oh, which is so true. But like maybe people really don't even know what love languages are.
Yeah.
And if they should, so why don't we go ahead and kind of give people a rundown of what the 5 love languages are. First thing first to know about love languages, they were developed by Dr. Gary Chapman. This is something that I think every therapist uses and it's useful.
Because I know it's like decades. So it's really thorough research and it's still ongoing and useful. Like you said, therapists are still referring to that in the field, especially couples therapists like yourself.
And I will say that we're going to link down below the actual quiz for love languages. When you head to their website, they talk about love languages not only for couples, but for individuals, for children, for your teenagers. So it's really being conscious about, at different stages of your life, you can even develop more needs for love in different ways that you've received and give love. So that's also something to be mindful for when you have your own children and or if you're single.
Yeah. So, 5 love languages, I will start with my personal fave because it's one of my 2 love languages, and that's acts of service. Acts of service is really about giving the person help. It could be a chore, it could be an activity. If it's a kid, it could be helping with a difficult assignment or project that they have going on. The kid may appreciate you giving them the help doing the project than actually buying the resources, because getting a gift or something isn't necessarily their love language. Similar to a partner, they may more appreciate you helping them with the chores or helping them with a difficult activity that they have going on rather than you giving them a gift.
It's so relieving to come home to you're having like that one thing that you needed done not to be on your list. So acts of
Yep.
service is definitely one that's super like useful. And when I think about acts of service, I think about like actions speak louder than words, right? So it's that you
It depends though on who you are.
true, right?
Right.
So if you take the love languages quiz and you get a higher score on the acts of service, then that makes it really important to you for you to get that help and for you to get that support, to know that somebody's going to show up for you in that way, because that's one thing that you don't have to do on your list.
Yeah, and since we alluded to gifts and then words of affirmation, you could talk a little more about those 2 love languages.
So the words of affirmation, people need to hear that they are appreciated, right? So having it physically say to them, like, you did a really good job, or saying, like, I care about you, I love you, those words let that person know that you really care about them. And it's proof that you are in it to win it, because they can actually hear it rather just them seeing it and kind of figuring out how to navigate and assume how you feel about them.
Yeah, and also giving that extra validation. I know you were working really hard on that thing. I saw how much time you put into it. I think you did a great job. I'm so proud of you. Those are words of affirmation.
It's that encouragement continuing going.
Yeah.
And then if we swing over to gifts, and something also to just to keep in mind, like this may be either your personal um, love language or someone else's. So you have to be mindful of both, right? So if you like words of affirmation, it's important to let other people know that that's important to you. And if you have a partner or a child that um, has that as one of their top love languages, that you need to be mindful that you're also including that into your communications and interactions with them. So the next one we're going to talk about is gift giving. Now, you can just buy a simple gift, but when your love languages is high on the list of having gifts being really important, they're more likely to be meaningful gifts, something that was like well thought out. It lets you know, or lets the person know, that you were really thinking of them when you purchased that gift. I'll give an example. Uh, Gift giving is not one of my top ones, but I think it's really nice when someone can do something meaningful. My partner got me a lock charm um, for Christmas. It's got a lock and a key, and it goes to my Pandora bracelet. And it symbolizes something that we talk about, being the lock and key for one another within our relationship.
That was nice.
A little nickname that we have that I won't share, that nobody will get, but it's a cute little hashtag. But it symbolizes our relationship and the love that we have in between us. So if that gift is super meaningful, that person will really value the gifts that you give them and know that you love them.
That was a really nice. Oh my god, it warms my heart.
I almost cried. I almost cried.
Yeah. Yeah, so it brings us to quality time and then physical touch. And physical touch, when we talk about that, it's not just about sexual touch or sexual intimacy. It can be hand holding, cuddling together, massages that are actually non sensual. Those can be really great ways to engage with your partner's love language if, in fact, it is physical touch.
And then, so thinking about like that quality time, because when I think about quality time, I'm always thinking there's some cuddling happening and some hugging. But if quality time is really important, it's not just like sitting on the couch and watching TV, although that is really important to some people. But it's a moment where both you and the person that you're with are present and engaged in that moment. So if your cell phone's out, or if you're doing some other activity, it's not really intentional time. So I know some people like, well, you want to come to like this event or activity with me, and if you're working, that time can't be spent and be meaningful. So making sure that when you're doing the quality time, that time is being spent really intentional with that person, and you're being present and engaged with them with whatever activity that you're participating in.
The cell phone is one of the biggest culprits of hijacking quality time. So I'm happy you said that.
And if you have a partner that has a video game, and how much time that they spend on their video games. So making sure that you both have your individual and quality time together.
It's important to add as well too that even though your partner may have, let's say, quality time as their primary love language, you may have a different love language, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that there has to be a conflict. It's just two people coming together knowing that they communicate love and want love to be shared with them in a different way, and then modifying to meet each other's needs in the relationship.
Okay, so maybe I'm being mindful of that. My top love language is quality time, but maybe my partner's top love language is acts of service.
Yeah.
So being mindful that, we're both being attuned to that. So sometimes I may pack my partner's lunch because that's something really helpful. It's one thing that he doesn't have to do on his list. And then also he's putting the video game down and spending time to watch a movie with me while we cuddle on the couch.
Yeah.
Two love languages at once: cuddling and quality time, physical touch and quality time.
Yeah, and it doesn't, because your primary love language is, let's say, quality time, it doesn't mean that you don't appreciate the other ones. It's just that this is the one that's most impactful for you. So if you have time, do the test. We'll link it below. It's also free.
Yep.
So get a little free resource to know yourself some more and potentially know your partner or your child.
Super helpful, guys. Check it out. And of course, as always, if you have any questions, don't forget to send us an email at melanatedtruthllc@gmail.com. Like, subscribe, comment below. We want to hear from you. What's your love languages? I love to see the results and how you're learning the people around you with their love languages.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.